and entrust her with them. And now the moms are just reliving their youth. So they're learning party, party, party. It's not my favorite.
It's definitely like weak in choreography, I think. I mean, there is like parts of it that they do very well, but like in the competition, you can see that like they really struggled picking this dance up. It's because Kathy came in and created chaos.
So now we get into Melissa, Maddie, and Mackenzie. Their official introduction. I think it's really fitting that out of all the moms, she's the first official introduction.
Absolutely. My favorite thing is watching Maddie and Mackenzie running down from the school bus.
Oh my god, I love that.
I definitely think my girls are like little dolls. I love to dress them up.
Okay, Melissa.
That is so cringy.
We know that you're living through your kids.
My ex-to-be claims that dance has ruined our marriage.
Probably. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes.
This is where she's being interviewed in a black ruffled sweater. Just as hideous on Melissa as it was on Mom. Sorry, Mom, we love you.
My boyfriend knows how much I spend on dance because he signs the checks. So.
I mean messy. Can we
Really,
talk about
though?
messy? We see Maddie's room. It is covered in trophies and plaques and crowns and sashes. It is clear from that second that Maddie is the focus and poor sweet Mackenzie is just the Ann Peggy. Oh, and then Melissa has the audacity again to lie to my face with such enthusiasm.
My ex calls me a crazy dance mom, but I really am not. I want our kids to be happy. That's what this is all about. It's about the kids and about them shining on stage and about them becoming stars.
It's a little bit too much protesting there, Melissa. I mean, we've seen all along, since this, that Melissa will do just about anything to get her girls ahead, which is fine, but like, girl, own it.
Don't be sneaky.
But I really, really love the interactions between Maddie and Mackenzie. They really remind me of you and me when we were little.
You could do cartwheels all around. I don't care. You always tap.
Now they have this like beautiful best friend relationship and
We don't have that.
no, we don't. Then it goes right into Christy and Chloe's introduction.
Okay, let me just tell everybody that Chloe is one of my favorites. Little Chloe is so precious. She just seems like such a sweet, down-to-earth kid.
And now, as a young adult, she's amazing.
I've sat up here a million times before. I've seen 1,000 dances go on. And, I'm just kind of hoping this year turns out a little bit better for Chloe.
I think that's really telling. I think that it's really evident that she's always number 2 and she just can't be number 1. I think that's a sad way to think about life. There have been many times where I'm not the best in the room. Look at me. I'm out here and I made it. It's fine.
Crushing it. We're killing it over here.
Chloe, don't worry, boo. You don't have to be number 1 to end up being a smoking hot 31-year-old. And we get to see Chloe. She has some sashes and some trophies, but it's not like Maddie and it's really evident.
It's my job to make sure all those little things are taken care of behind the scenes so that she can be the star that she needs to be on stage.
Duh.
Right, like you're a parent.
Because we're so dedicated to dance, we have missed so much.
Right, and it's very evident that this whole junior elite team very much puts dance in front of school.
I would say yes to everyone except for Nia in the beginning.
I pay Abby $16,000 a year to teach my daughter dance, but don't tell my husband.
Did she take a page out of the Debbie School of Life?
I think so.
Because that is something our mother would have done.
If he doesn't know, then something is wrong.
So I think these dads, and I could be wildly speculating, I think they just think, well, better this than
drugs.
They're thinking, well, my kid loves to do this. My wife likes that my kid does this. My wife is happy. She's not running her mouth at me. Happy wife, happy life. Couple dollars out of my pocket. Bada bing, bada boom. Happy family.
This is Petite Miss First Runner-Up 2010, and Maddie won. I was her runner-up.
My daughter was usually number 2, but she was always in the mix, but she couldn't quite, push herself over the top. I'd say that Maddie probably is Chloe's biggest competition. I think that Chloe's biggest competition's in her own backyard.
I just think it's sad that from the get-go we just see that they're always put against each other.
On some levels, I feel like they're neck and neck, but then there's other levels levels where I feel like Chloe surpasses Maddie.
Chloe is a better technician. Back to the studio, and the moms are talking about what they're now referring to as the Bermuda Triangle and not the pyramid, and how they don't like it. And Melissa is just sitting there. She is the most miserable person on the planet because she doesn't care. Maddie's on top. It doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't matter.
Because the whole reason for her doing anything is for Maddie to be seen, because Maddie's a star. It doesn't matter that Mackenzie's on the bottom. Like, the fact that Mackenzie's there at all is a miracle.
Right.
In her eyes. I mean, that's how it seems at this point. And here she is sitting there in her stupid ruched pink top.
Oh, God.
I just can't with that top.
Because my kid is the star. She is the most talented girl there. And if anybody has any problems with me, I'm just going to ignore it this year. I'm here for my daughter, and I'm not here to make friends.
Ma'am.
Famous fucking last words.
Ma'am.
I cannot believe that that's what she thought was going to happen. There's already a lot of animosity. It's a frickin' TV show. Like, what do you think is going to happen, boo?
Right.
When all the moms are watching our group, obvious that they watch my daughter because she is the star and your eyes just go directly to her.
How does she know that?
And I don't actually, understand why she would say that, because how would she know?
I've seen many shows. I don't watch the quote-unquote best dancer. That's not always who my eye is drawn to. I think everyone's like that. I don't think, and especially those bitchy-ass mamas, those bitchy-ass mama bears who are sitting up there moaning and groaning about this,
They
putting
are
their life on hold.
watching their children,
like hawks.
making sure that they don't make a mistake. That is what
Absolutely.
they are doing.
And Maddie's sick all of a sudden.
Right. So, I see that as her anxiety. And
I felt that as a type A people pleaser.
Right, this is a very stressful situation for these girls. They're young and they're being filmed.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I definitely relate to Maddie when it comes to being a people pleaser and a perfectionist, and I know that anxiety of I cannot mess up. I cannot have any emotion. But what bothers me about this scene is Melissa finally goes to check on Maddie when she runs out of the rehearsal studio. And
What do you mean? You never leave dance class.
No, my stomach just started to hurt. I don't know why.
You never miss dance.
the child's sick.
I can't stand a child that's sick.
Ma'am, why did you have children?
What? They are snot rockets. What do you mean you can't stand a child who is sick? What does that even mean? I have never felt something harder in my life. Maddie finishes crying, opens the door to the studio, and continues the dance immediately. Without even skipping a beat.
Yeah.
I felt that so hard. So then it's 3 days to the competition, and we're seeing the trio for the first time. Did you remember that they're doing a trio?
Oh, forgot.
Abby is just railing on Paige for no reason. We're not really sure why.
People think I'm tough, and I guess I am, but I'd rather be the one that makes your child cry in the privacy of my studio instead of crying in front of 800 people at an open audition.
And she mansplains to us about tough love, and then Paige runs away sobbing. In my head, I get the sentiment that she's saying that she wants to make the corrections in her studio.
Absolutely.
Before she sends them into an audition for them to be embarrassed. I get that. Now we've got Kelly Brook and Paige. We have their introduction.
Brooke has been winning awards since she was 6 years old. And Paige also, last year, she won first place for interview.
And she says it so awkward and uncomfortable.
Yes.
She's trying to find the words to try and fill in something good about Paige. She's a good dancer. Just because she hasn't won titles out the wazoo doesn't mean she's not a good dancer.
Right.
Okay, so Brooke has been winning since she was little, because at one time she was Abby's favorite.
Right, so she got all the attention.
Paige is around the same age as Chloe and Maddie, so she's never going to stand a chance.
Right.
But just say Paige is an amazing dancer, and I love watching her dance.
Right, you don't have to try to find words to say about her.
And I think it's the edit, the way it comes across is just really, she's reaching. She's reaching for something, and it makes me feel bad for Paige.
You want to know what I find really creepy in this interview? Is she pulls out her dance pictures and she says, "Look, girls, this is mommy when she was your age."
I have a question. Your girl ain't no mathematician, but what?
I have been with Abby since I was 2.5.
They're so much closer in age. So I didn't understand how when Abby says that she started her dance company when she was 14, Kelly's not that much younger than her.
Yeah, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Kelly danced with her mom.
Okay.
And then when Abby opened her own, she might have taken classes from Abby, but then Kelly quit because she wanted to be a cheerleader.
Right,
so.
she quit when she was like 13.
Right.
I have danced with her for 37 years, and I think that's why when I had 2 girls, I couldn't wait for them to be dancers.
Literally, she says 37 years. No, ma'am, that's not how it works. You don't get to continually count those years. You quit. You did not have a daughter at 13 that started dance. Like, if you had someone in your family that immediately started dance after that, that's different. But shit don't add up.
No.
Shit
That
don't
never
add
made
up.
sense to me either.
I mean, I know they have a long history. I know that Kelly's now ex-husband Randy, or soon to be ex-husband Randy, he was the one who encouraged Kelly to take the girls to Abby's studio to take classes for dance. This scene also really shows that Brooke is just over it. Mm-hmm. I mean, she outright says she wants to quit and she wants to try out for cheer.
Right, because all of her friends are doing cheerleading. It's totally normal.
Yeah, but also you can do both. I did, and it was fun. If you want to do the thing in high school or middle school, like, go do the thing. It's fine. Try the thing.
Huh, I mean, you might as well
Try the thing until you find the thing you love.
Right.
So her room is just like Maddie's. It's like covered in medals and trophies, and she's just over it. And I would like to take this time to remind everyone that Paige exists. Paige is there.
Really,
She's
though.
there the whole time. And no one addresses her.
Yeah.
No one looks at her. No one addresses her. She is there. Then we see Holly and Nia, and they get their introduction.
They bought Mia a crown. I was crying.
This breaks my heart every single time.
I'm optimistic that Nia will have a great year. I want nothing but the best for her, but I also know that Abby's looking at last year's track record.
And it's just so sad. So I think this is where we see that Nia is set up to be the underdog.
Absolutely.
And look at her in her little Lily Pulitzer dress with her bows. And then, woo, we get Mama Holly at work. She has a master's and she's working on her doctorate, and she's a principal, and she's a mother of 3.
Homegirl is killing it.
This is my crown, but I just bought it because I had to have one. I haven't won one in dance.
You haven't won it yet, but it's coming, right?
Yeah.
It's coming. Nia is not a featured dancer, and that continues to be an issue. And I don't want Nia to always be the backup dancer.
And I want to tell Holly from 2011,
Just wait.
Wait.
It's gonna be amazing.
Just wait. Nia is gonna have her moment, and even though Abby's an utter bitch, Nia is gonna look fabulous, and she's gonna be
And kill it.
surrounded by people who love her and appreciate her talent, and she is going to crush it.
I am not a doormat, and people cannot walk over me, and they cannot walk over my child. And that's where we draw the line.
But Holly tells us very bluntly that she is not a doormat. You cannot walk all over her, and you cannot walk all over her child, and boy does she stand up to that. Like, she lives up to that.
So in some episodes she does, in some she doesn't. She picks her battles very wisely, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, I think she has a very low tolerance for abuse, like actual abuse, you know.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to the kids, her first instinct, and we see it in this first episode, is to protect the children. Here she comes, Hurricane Kathy, walking into the studio.
Kathy!
And it's raining, so she has the umbrella, and she's carrying Vivi's costume, and she has her purse, and she has her glasses in her hand, and she is already a hot mess. And Melissa goes to shake her hand.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Is
Hi. That hand's wet. Oh, that's
Sorry.
okay. Hi, sweetie. What's your name?
Vivi.
Hi, Vivi. We want to sign up for classes, and we want to do competition.
That's a lot.
And that's not how it works.
No, not at all.
You cannot just walk into a studio on a Tuesday and be like, I would like to compete on Saturday, ma'am.
Well, why not?
She's a dance studio owner.
Yeah, really, if anybody should know better, it's her.
Exactly. And I know all of this was made up for the show. I know this. But, like, do not tell people that this is what you can do. It's just showing people that you can get away with bad behavior for dance. And that's not how it works. Show more respect. Okay, so now we're introduced officially to Kathy and Vivi.
Dance has been in my life since I've been 3 years old. My mom danced. My grandma danced. So Vivi has to dance.
It doesn't work like that. Like, she doesn't have to. There's no law. Our mom played lacrosse. I've never in my life picked up a fucking lacrosse stick. Is that what they use? Sticks? I don't know. Yes. Because it doesn't work like that.
Right, she definitely